What was your reaction when you saw this?
I was heartbroken. Skip, I knew it immediately. I knew immediately when he went down like that. As you remember, Skip, this is why they banned the cowboy, the horse collar, because Roy Williams had broken 3 people's ankles doing this very move. Is basically, and he didn't cowboy collar, he didn't horse collar Dak. He just dropped all his weight down because Dak was trying to stiff arm him, and he was trying to hold Dak, and so he tugged him and dropped his weight down. Skip, I didn't break my ankle, but the very first time I tore ligaments in my ankle is that Albert Lewis tackled me like this from behind, and it pinned my ankle up under me.
Yep.
And luckily, my ankle gave that it didn't snap. But I knew immediately, and I hate this. I hate the franchise tag because the franchise tag, I don't care what anybody says, the team is betting against you. The team bet against Dak, and they won. I hate they did this to him because he had proven after year 3, he had proven after year 4, and they made him go into year 5 having to prove that he was deserving of what he was asking for. I hate this happened to Dak. Considering everything that he's gone through with the loss of his mom a couple of years ago, his brother tragically died, Skip, that April or May, and now having to deal with this. I hate that he has to go through this. But, and I've only been around Dak a handful of times, Skip. It is really hard, trust me, to critique and analyze a player that you have such great respect for. He's a first-class man. Mm-hmm. There's nothing that you can say about this man, the way he conducts himself, the way he carries himself. He's what the NFL wants the league to be represented by. He's it.
He is.
And it's so, man, Skip, man.
Our man Derek Brooks is a mentor to him. He just raves about his character.
He does, man.
Yep.
And Brooks, he texted me yesterday, heartbroken.
Likewise.
Skip, I had a tear in my eye because I know what this means. And it just hurts me so bad when you pour so much into it. And Skip, let me tell you what. In 1999, I was, trying to get a contract extension with the Broncos, and it didn't happen. In week 4, I broke my collarbone. And I'm sitting on the field, and I'm saying to myself, you mofos bet against me, and you won. I promise you, what's going through his mind, everything I've done for your 1, 2, 3, 4, you bet against me, and you won. I hate this, Skip. I just want him to heal up. Forget the contract. Forget what's next for Dak. Hopefully, they got him they cleaned the wound up. There's nothing going on, Skip. He had the surgery, and he can heal up. We'll discuss the ramifications of this as far as free agency and where does Dak turn now. We will. But I'm heartbroken that this happened to this young man because he's class times 15. And I hate I hate anything to happen, but Skip, when you, for him, man, after everything that he's been through, but they say God gives his toughest soldiers the toughest task. Dak will bounce back. Dak will be better than ever.
I agree. I agree with everything you just said. Now, for the perspective from my side of the table, I have believed in this young man since day one. The first day I laid eyes on him was at a preseason game out here in L.A. at the Coliseum just before our show started in 2016. And I told you maybe the first day we were on the air, I love this kid, but I loved him at Mississippi State. You can look it up on the other show I used to do on ESPN. I raved about him, not his last year, but the junior year, when he carried little old Mississippi State all the way to #1 in the nation, more as a running than a throwing quarterback. But it was all guts and all heart and doing a lot with a little, or at least with medium.
Right.
And he got all the way to Tuscaloosa before he hit the wall, because most teams hit the wall at Tuscaloosa.
They do.
And yet, as soon as I saw him operate that evening out here against the Rams, I said, that's a franchise quarterback. And I told you that immediately because I was never sold to the point of trusting Tony Romo.
Right.
He was box office for oftentimes the wrong reasons.
Right.
And I thought, this young man can take this franchise places. And in 2016, he did take them places. Took them all the way to 13-3 and played very well after falling predictably behind, because it seems like that's what happens with this team and this defense. He brought them all the way back to 31-all against Aaron Rodgers, and here we went. And I've said over here Monday after Monday after Blue Monday, and defended this young man, oftentimes against your critiques, which have been harsh. And now for the context of yesterday. I told you, part of my soul got crushed the previous week against Cleveland at Jerry World when I told you this is it for me. If my team has any semblance of credibility as far as being an NFC title contender, they had to beat the Cleveland Browns, and they didn't beat the Cleveland Browns. So yesterday, I really thought the Giants would win that game, and I told you that Friday. And predictably, my team fell behind 17-3 to the woeful Giants. And I thought, here we go again, but maybe Dak's got him right where he wants him because this is what he does. There's no better warrior coming from behind, often hopelessly behind, than Dak Prescott, who in the first 4 games of this year had thrown for more yards than anybody in the history of the league. Now, they didn't have much to show for it because they should have been 0-4. It took a miracle recovery against Atlanta for them to steal that game. But yesterday, early in the game, starting at 17-3 down, I started to see some flashes of, wait, maybe they're starting to come together here. I saw my defense actually take the ball away and score with it.
They did.
A takeaway touchdown. A sack fumble created by DeMarcus Lawrence, leading to a scoop and score by Anthony Brown, who just came back from injury. And I thought, hark, maybe there's some hope, right? And then I saw some breaks happen. I saw the Giants hit us with a trick play, fake field goal, touchdown to Evan Ingram. And they said Cam Fleming, who used to be a Cowboy and a Patriot, they said he wasn't quite set.
And he wasn't.
But it was a ticky-tack. It could have been let go, and nobody would have said a word about it.
You know you're coming with that play.
I got
Why
it.
not just go ahead and get set?
Just get set. I got it. It was... I wouldn't have thrown a flag on it, but they did. Thank you very much. And then there was also a pick play that erased a touchdown early in the third quarter. And I thought, you know what? Maybe this is our day. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is poised for takeoff today. So here we go. We're up 24-33. We're on our way to 31-23 with Dak at the helm. And that happened. And the reason it took me maybe 15 minutes to process it, Dak Prescott's the most durable quarterback in the league. He is 6'2". What do we give him? 235 or 40? And he has been LeBron-esque Iron Man. It's just hard. He had started every game since day one. And he had the 6th most starts in the history of the league without missing a game.
And the thing was, Skip, is that he had never even gotten injured in a game and had to really miss any snaps during the game.
No, he got evaluated for a concussion against Atlanta.
But came back.
I think he missed 2 plays against Atlanta. Last year, at the end of the year, remember, he had a banged-up shoulder and he couldn't practice before Philly, but I don't think they even listed him on the injury report.
But he didn't miss. He was up on the center.
So now they call a quarterback draw, and he takes off through a big hole to the left, and he breaks one easy tackle. And here comes Logan Ryan, who's 5'11", 195 pounds, not nearly the size of the man that Dak is. Am I threatened by this at this point? No, I'm not threatened. I don't think twice about it. So he tries to just stave him off with a stiff arm. And somehow Logan Ryan, to your point, gets a hold of him and gets some leverage and pulls down hard, and Dak's foot gets caught up underneath. Well, it's freakish to me.
It is.
It's like, how could that happen to him? There are 100 other ways a quarterback can get hurt except that one. If I gave you a list of 100 possibilities, you might have put that one down near the bottom.
Skip, how many times do you think we see guys get tackled like that every single week?
Every single week, right?
Yeah.
And he's a very good runner with the football. He's a powerful runner with the football. And the last thing I would have thought from a DB hitting him is that, you're going to get your angle caught. But not only are you going to get it caught, it's going to compound fracture, meaning the bone is going to come through the skin, and it's going to dislocate, and we are going to have one quick glimpse live of the ankle sideways, which is gruesome to watch, but it was completely sideways.
It was.
We couldn't see the blood coming because it hadn't probably spurted quite enough yet, but it was going to come because the bone went through the skin.
Correct.
So this is a horrific injury. And Dak was stunned and immediately started pointing like, what is that?
He knew it.
And Logan Ryan immediately points to the Dallas bench, come here.
That.
And then it took a couple of minutes for it to set in, and he's on the cart, and he is crying like a baby because he should have.
Yes.
Because he knew it was over.
Skip, you know what it reminds you of? Remember Gordon Hayward? 2 minutes.
It was the same.
Like a minute into the game, he goes up for a lob, and then boom, and the next thing you know, you're looking at him, he got his ankle in his hand.
I'm pretty sure it also broke his tibia.
It might have did. It might have did.
I think it did. But whatever. To your point, they're saying 4 to 6 months. If I know him, he'll be a fast healer. I know he'll be incredibly dedicated to the cause and the process of the rehabilitation.
Right.
And I wouldn't be shocked if there were murmurs that depending if they could get into the playoffs and go aways, that maybe Dak could come back. I doubt it.
I doubt that. Yeah, with that.
But the point is, we say God bless you. We say, yeah, it would be.
I mean, you looking at April. Free agency starts what, March? So if it's 4 to 6 months, you're looking at April. March, April, May, somewhere in that time frame, Skip. That's if everything goes perfect.
Okay. I'm going to save my thoughts on Dak's future in Dallas for a few more minutes because we're going to hit it head on.
Right.
But allow me to finish on how the game finished. I don't want to be disrespectful to Dak, but allow me to say, if I have to go forward as a Cowboy fan with a backup, I'll take this backup.
Right.
He's pretty good.
Well, that's why you paid. That's why you paid.
Correct.
Yeah.
We didn't pay him a lot. Paid him $3 million with $7 million if he hits his incentives.
But he's been a starter since he's come into the league. So that's what you want. It's hard to find those type of guys that's been a starter, that's won a division, that's gone to the playoffs, and now he's our backup.
And remember, for his first 5 years in the league, he averaged 10 wins a year. He did not win a playoff game, but he won the division. Right. Okay. He got them into the playoffs. The point was, I feared the worst because if they lost to the Giants yesterday and they lost Dak for the season, you want to talk about doom and gloom? You want to talk about depression setting in? Instead, Andy Dalton got off to a little bit of a shaky start because at one point he fumbled a snap. Right. Remember, the center is a rookie. Yeah. He's the third stringer this year on the depth chart, but it's Tyler Biadasz from Wisconsin. And he hasn't probably taken many, if any, snaps from Tyler, and he lost the snap, and he lost the football. And I thought, oh, my God, here we go.
Thanks, Skip, like your second or third play.
That was early, yes. Okay, so in the end, he gets the ball back at his 12-yard line with 52 seconds left. And I think a lot of Cowboy fans may have lost some perspective on this. He went Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was special last night. Listen, that's unbelievably close.
I'm more than other words to describe what he's doing.
Well, if you look hard at what Andy Dalton did with two undrafted tackles and a rookie center, two rookie starting offensive linemen, he goes 72 yards in 5 plays. In the last 2 completions, if we could see those, these are big time.
Michael Gallup it might be one of the most difficult, tough ball catchers.
He escapes to the right. He's thrown on a dead run, and he throws a strike to Gallup, and Gallup got both feet down. That is pretty good, if not great.
Yes.
Okay, and he comes right back, and I think they'll just go for a 10-yard shot, and he steps right back to the back of the pocket and goes home run ball and throws it up where Gallup can go up and get it, and it was a great throw.
I'm shocked he caught this ball like this. People don't realize how hard it is to catch a ball back over your shoulders at its high point. Normally, you let the ball come down over the top.
He went up and snatched it in midair, and all of a sudden, I'm thinking, we got a chip shot field goal.
Yes.
And Zerline hits the weirdest slice field goals. I don't know what they're doing, like knuckleballs. But it went through, and they lived to tell about getting to 2 wins. And guess who's in first place in the least? And it's the least.
The Cowboys.
But Philly played very well yesterday at Pittsburgh, but finally got outgunned by Big Ben.
Skip, you should be a team that was averaging 12 points a game, got 34 against you. And they're not very good.
Okay, I got it. But I did see signs of life. I saw Jalen Smith, who I still love as a player, and he's such a great guy, such a great young man. He was flying around yesterday to the point he led them in tackles by far. I thought it might have been his best game as a Cowboy linebacker. So I got something to hang my hat on. Right. But I got what you're saying, but I'll take it. It's a small step.
Yep.
And now it is Zeke's team. You've always said it should be Zeke's team, and it will be. From this point forward, I'm not saying he's going to be the leader of the team, but the offense will run through Zeke from this point on.
Even when they fell behind, if you notice, they were still, it wasn't just drop back, it was still play action. They were still trying to get Zeke involved, and Zeke ran yesterday. Zeke ran like a man possessed. He didn't have the 150, the big yardage to show for it.
He got to 91.
The tough, the physicality in which he ran with.
And listen, that 12-yard touchdown run, that was all for Dak.
Yeah, he wanted that one.
And he held up his 4.
He wanted that one.
The rest of this season is dedicated to number 4.
Yep.
Here we go.
The visual of seeing Jason Garrett and Mike McCarthy checking on him, it got you. We are wishing Dak a speedy recovery because that was not easy to see.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.